What is that, Toby? What is it? The sound of a giant truck. Welcome. Tiny Hands, Big Dreams. You're on the homestead in southern Ecuador. There we go. 6 meters, 1 meter, stack of sheets. Nice. It is not the fanciest roofing in the world. We are incredibly pleased to get it delivered. And this is one of the things about natural home building. What do you do for a roof? Roof's a tricky thing. Oh yeah, we could spend the next year making ourselves Spanish tiles and trying to set that up. We just need a roof. So yeah, there we go. Excellent. So now we're going to get it hauled up the hill, and hopefully we'll start getting it up. Some people have asked, like, why is this taking you so long? Okay. Most people build a house, they hire a person, they show up with a crew. That's a lot of people, it's a lot of materials. If you're building it yourself, you go and you buy all the stuff and you put it together. If I need a piece of wood, I have to cut down a tree. Wanders out into the forest, cut the tree down, let the tree dry, strip the tree, let it dry a bit, bring it up here, bark the tree. Sometimes Eli barks the tree. Cut it into pieces. And then I have a usable piece of wood to do one thing. It takes longer. So what we're doing here, and Eli is getting set up behind me, is we're just making shims. Because when we get our rafters tomorrow, which are just strips to go across, or sorry, battens to go across our rafters. The rafters are imperfect. They were trees because, again, we didn't buy dimensional lumber. I have to shim them to make all the battens lay all in the same plane. So we have to now make shims. So I'm chainsawing some wood in various thicknesses, and Eli is nicely cutting them into little pieces so that when we get the battens up there, we can shim to make them all actually be in the correct plane for the flat roofing. So we have to now interface with a manufactured product, which is one of the few things in this house that is dimensionally correct. So yeah, I'm going to cut a few of these. As a side benefit, all of these go in a bag, and that is actually the fiber that we're using in our wattle and daub. Some turns out better than the others, but you can see it's like you can grab a big handful. It's not sawdust, it's curlicues. And this is actually really good wood. We call it rubber leaf tree. We don't know what it is. It doesn't really rot, and it has rubbery leaves. Makes really nice wood. It's really strong. So that is part of our daub that becomes the walls. So we're not wasting it. All right, now I'm going to be loud and cut some more. Beautiful. So we're going to take those, and then we're going to get the hatchet out, and we're going to split those into 2x3 pieces. So those will each get cut into three pieces. All right. 2 down, 90 to go. As my lovely wife deftly wields her wood working on the walls. Look at that. Look at that wall. It's beautiful. My job is higher. Don't laugh at me. Don't snort and laugh either. She laughs at me a lot. So some of the rafters I put up, I didn't actually tie on with wire, which is one of the things we're going to do to make sure the roof doesn't blow off. So I have some joints, that one, I have one there, but not the next. So I have to go through and just clean up ones that were forgotten, those two. And I'm going to get wire holding these rafters down. They're nailed with a big old like 4 or 5 inch nail, but we wanted to do an extra level of wire. It costs nothing. It's just a few minutes of time. And in case of some sort of 1,000-year wind event, yeah, we don't lose the roof. So get on that. And tomorrow I will pick up battens to start laying up from the carpenter. Actually, maybe I'll go video picking those up from the carpenter too. That'd be fun. Where are we going? In the old rattle trap we call a van. We are headed to the carpenters. We're going to go and see. I think that the pieces I asked them to make are done. And we'll go see them and we'll pick them up, which is what we need for the roof. I couldn't really figure out like a way around it. I needed long, straight, flat pieces. Like I could fight myself forever trying to get it, but I just have to have a little bit of flat wood. So we're gonna be up down there and get it done. First order business. Lovely pile of curly, dry wood shavings. Which we will scoop a bunch of old bags of. This is what we put in the chicken coop in the animal houses. His planer makes a lot of them. Pretty simple equipment and tools. Jointer, table saw, planer, and some small tools, chop saw. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's the local carpenter. So it turns out we forgot to do them, so he's just going to bust them out real quick while we're here. So that's his planer. That thing sees a lot of wood. That's the pile of shavings that we get all of our for our animal houses from. Huge motor, steel blades. It's not fancy, but it does the job. And that's him cleaning the boards up, putting a decent face on them. Putting a bit of a squarish edge, just so you can table saw it. Now, curiously, that is the switch that runs up and across and down to the planer we just saw. Yeah, that's actually a breaker. This is pretty normal wiring I see here in rural Ecuador. Totally common. Sometimes you see houses, they don't even have the breaker. There we go. He's using the other table saw to set up for splitting them. That blade sticking up about 10 inches out of the deck there. No guards, no saw stop. But these two brothers have been doing this for, I don't know, their whole life. They still have all their fingers. So, it can be done, I guess.
I awkwardly stuck myself in here.
And again, tiny van for the tiny win. Shavings, wood, all the stuff. So I got my stack of wood from the carpenter. He gave me two choices. There was the cheap wood and the expensive wood, which was about double the cost. It turns out the difference was in the type of wood, which looks the same, but it was apparently a different kind that's better in the weather. Also, the cheap wood is riddled with bug holes. It's just a type of wood that has certain insects that live in it. Yeah. Now, again, these are battens for a roof. It's not super concerning. It's not furniture. So I'm going to do just a little bit of cleanup. I've already done a bunch. I run the sander over it, and I take down these planer marks, which you can see across there. His table saw is very coarse, and you can kind of see that it just sort of shreds the edge rather than leave a clean cut. So I'm going to run the sander up the sides, and then I'm going to take this, which is the downward facing side, since the roof it'll face in, and I'm just going to put a little chamfer on it because it's like 45 extra seconds, and my goodness, look how much nicer that looks. The rough versus smooth, it would function the same, but like if we ever get dust or cobwebs or things and you try to brush it, the rough cut lumber it just gets dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. You can't really clean it. I sanded the rafters. It's the only thing that I've really sanded in there. And I just thought it'd be nice to take a few hours and clean these up. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm also fixing, there's a bunch of split ends on the wood because it's just the length that was sitting outside. So here's one. This is a very mild one. Some of them had huge cracks that would like flipper. So I dribble a little glue in there. I put a couple of screws in from the side and put it back together, and it's all good wood again. Solved. And there we go. I've taken what was two rough boards and turned them into fairly fancy looking pretty boards that will definitely add to the interior ambiance of our lovely rustic home. Now, because there is the potential of live insects living in the wood, you don't know. I don't know the lifespan of these particular. I know that they can be weeks, months, years, and then pop back out. So what we're going to do is take them all out in the driveway, lay them out, and make up some boric water spray and just soak them. Yes, it will raise the grain slightly. It'll dry again. But the boric it will kill any insect that tries to eat it. So it should preserve the wood. It may kill what's in there. The guy was telling me just to like bathe it in diesel or lacquer coat all of them. While I agree that that might be sufficient to kill the bugs, yeah, I'm not going to lacquer coat all the ceiling battens. Nor am I going to soak them in diesel, which my wife would never forgive me. I wouldn't forgive me. It would stink forever. Boric doesn't have any smell. So a couple of good sprays of boric, soak it in good. No insect should ever bother these again. All right, 4 more to go.
Sometimes you rethink plans and destroy the bathroom. Good job, kid.
I did not mean to do that.
We are we are completely rethinking the bathroom sink. So we are pulling up posts, little baby posts, and digging up our little bits of concrete and
Home wrecker.
wrecking our home and creating some sort of new plan. Yet to be determined. Are you using a stick? Oh, that's a terrible plan.
It's round. I need a bigger stick.
There's a shovel.
I don't need no shovel. I can just use a stick and pull up a broken.
Oh, it broke.
Yeah, it broke in many places.
Okay.
It's easy to put cement in, not out.
Alright. Now we have to fill it back in.
Oh, I forgot I need this long piece.
Alright. Thanks, kid. Destroyer.
Are we gonna carry it like this?
Get it off the other one. Can you get in the house over on this side very carefully?
Sit down for just a second.
Good. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. There you go.
Ah! It bent in the middle.
Oh, terribly. Oh, it's horribly bent now.
Let's do it like this.
Crap.
It won't bend as bad if we do it like this.
Oh, no.
That's not ideal.
Yep. That's why we rolled it before.
Rude. Not like the little.
Wait,
Want me to hold?
I'm here to go first. I have to get up. So,
Do you need help? Oh, turtle.
Where turtles? So far.
keep going.
And then subland.
Wait. Sideways. Careful, careful, slow.
Hey, this wasn't the way. Really want to go there. Down?
No,
Just down.
hold on, hold on. Ow. Right to the cheek.
Ooh. Now push?
No, 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 no. Gentle slide. No push. Okay, stop. Come down and get a stick. And you're gently going to help it.
Up and not get caught on that.
Smaller, gentle. Tiny pokes. Tiny pokes.
Right to the edge. I don't know how far it's supposed to go.
8 inches.
Well, now your battens are hanging out of. You want you want to push this way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much you want to go overhead.
All right, look. The batten touch here.
Right on the edge.
And they let just the little ridge hang over.
You want to go over a little bit more. Down here.
So this is what it looks like now. We've got our battens in, got them all nicely leveled, spaced out. It is dry under here. This is a big improvement. So we're starting to get our walls, we get our windows framed out. You see one wall's got its first coat of mud. Look at this wall. Look how pretty that is. That's actually just our bathroom wall. My wife has made a just lovely, lovely wall out of a bunch of sticks from the forest. It's slightly hard to tell because I got plastic draped over all these, trying to keep the weather off them. But these, what I call rafters, are really just trees in all of their natural goodness. They are not flat, or terribly straight. Some of them hook, some of them twist. They do different things. Now, I've tried to take great care when I put them up in twisting them in a way that they can twist left or right, but not so much up and down. I've tried to get them in plane as much as possible by cutting them in on the main beams here. I get in and I just try to level them, but it only gets me so close. So then, when I get up to this stage, let me get up there and show you what I did up top. So I've had to come in on some of these, add small shims. On other ones, I've had to do just a little bit of clearancing. Oh, there's another shim. Try to get them to all line up. Now, how that works out is I go from, oh, it's sort of a mess if you look that way, and they jump up and down and left and right. They do all this sing-songing. All right, let me spin around here. There we go. So I do the same in here, but then as I look down the roof line, that whole roof has come out freakishly close. Darn near flat. And that just takes time. It's a slow process. Had I bought dimensional lumbers, and everything would have been straighter. Had I bought thicker sheet metal, I could just walk across it and do it all from above. But we didn't. We bought the economy stuff. I can't really stand on it. I can lean across it if I have myself a log to rest an arm on. And then I'm very carefully flattening and straightening. There we go. Now, one more trick that I did up here is if you look at the screws, there's one way over there that hasn't gotten coated. Now, because I am doing an odd thing here, this roof is made to go on metal. So, of course, the screws that you buy are sheet metal screws with washers, with a little bit of rubber. But I'm going into wood. Lovely Amazonian hardwood. Oh, I set off the dog and tapped on the roof. So what I did was, let me get you a close-up. Because that is then a wood screw, and not just a wood screw, sorry, it is a sheetrock screw, because that's the only thing that's available here. It is black-coated, pointy-tipped, countersunk head for sheetrock. Now those unfortunately do not weather well. They will rust away, eventually loosen and break. So I covered them with a little bit of a roof elastomeric adhesive compound, and then I tapped some fine sand onto it. Now, what that'll do is that'll protect it from the sun and the wind and the rain and everything else. And the elastomeric is protected by the sand so it doesn't UV out. And the screw is lovely and encased in there. I'm guessing this will last for decades. Now I have to go find out what has set off the dog.